So you downloaded Unity Hub of the internet and now you want to get to work. And Unity Hub has 4 panels: the projects, installs, learn, and community. Installs is for installing different versions of the Unity editor. Obviously, LTS version stands for long-term support, which is the ones that are recommended to use because they're gonna have the least amount of bugs. Then you have learn, which is for learning. You have community for the blogs, answers, forums, publishing your games, and so on. But most of the time, we're just gonna spend it in the projects panel. And this is used to create new projects. So if we hit the new project button, you'll be able to choose which template you want to use. So you have all templates, it will show you all the templates. You have core, which is going to show you the only very basic ones, such as like VR, third person, 2D, 3D. Then you have sample, which is just samples of HDRP and URP, which are different render pipelines. And then you have learning, which are already micro games made for you to try them out and see if you're interested in making something similar on your own. And here you can choose the editor version. This will be all of the versions that you downloaded in the versions tab of the Unity Hub. And here you can choose all the different ones. I'm just going to choose 3D URP. And then I'm going to call this Unity Basics and hit create project. Alright, so the Unity editor is composed of 4 main sections. The inspector, which is for properties. Your viewport, which is either 2D or 3D, depending on which project template you chose. Then you have your project folders. This is just for your files. And then you have the hierarchy for your game objects. So all the stuff that is in your scene. By default, you should have main camera and directional light for 3D. And the main camera is what the player will see through. Basically, this is what the player will see if we play our game. So if we click play now, it's not particularly exciting. There's nothing. So let's try adding a cube. So just right click, 3D objects, and then cube. And then we have a cube in our scene. If we click on our camera, down here we can see exactly what the camera sees. So if we drag the cube slightly higher, now there we go, the camera can actually see the cube. Click on our cube, and everything in our scene has components, game objects. Our game is basically just composed of game objects and components. And by default, a cube has a transform component. Transform is the position, rotation, and scale, so you're going to access this a lot. So now let's experiment a tiny bit with scripting. So let's add component, and let's create something called first script. Let's create a new script and create an add. And then it's going to reload script assemblies and click and edit script. For this, you need Visual Studio, or I think any other code editor works, but this is the one that's recommended the most. There we go. So the start method loads whenever it's called, whenever the game starts. It's the very first frame. Here is mostly when you wanna initialize stuff, and then you have the update method, which runs every single frame of your game. This is your game logic, your dynamics. This is what's gonna change throughout the game, not just be loaded once and stay that way. And let's try just using the start method for now. Let's do debug.log, and then let's write something like test. Let's close it off with a semicolon. Now let's go back to Unity. And debug.log actually sends a message to the console. So if we play now, during the first frame of our game, we should receive a message saying test. There you go. It said test. Yep. So there we go. That's the very basics of Unity done. Let me know if you want to see something more advanced in the future.